Alright, editing me here. I forgot to film an intro for week 3, so welcome to week 3 of Tour de Fleece. My name's Sam, and I'm just gonna go ahead and start off with the second clip I filmed yesterday, which was day 15. It's because I filmed the outro in the morning for week 2. And then I forgot that I didn't actually film an intro. So, yeah, here we go. All right, it's later in the day. I have started spinning my Arkenstone bat. Let's see, there you go. I've just torn off 2 pieces and spun it so far. And I also went to the big flea market thing, and I got a couple things. I got a little corner wall shelf, like an antique one or vintage or whatever you want to call it. This is so pretty. And I also got some, like, I think it's beach glass that someone melted down into like little stones, and one's a heart, and I'm gonna use those as sewing pattern weights. And let's see, what else? I got some dog treats for Winnie also, so there she is. I think she might have got stung by a bee earlier, but I'm not sure. But here we are, beginning of day 14 spin. And yeah, but I will talk to you guys later. All right, it's Sunday, day 15. Wait. No, Saturday was day 15, so it's day 16 of Tour de Fleece. And I finished this morning plying this 3-ply of Wensleydale. Oh, there you go. And well, I definitely don't like Wensleydale comb top. I have a bunch of Wensleydale, and I will be carding it and seeing if I can spin it by itself. If not, I'll blend it. And then on my Arkenstone bat, can you see that? Yeah, on my Arkenstone bat, I almost finished spinning it. I only have this much left, just 2 little chunks. And I started it yesterday. It's a 2-ounce bat, and then I have another 2-ounce bat, so I'm gonna spin them both and then ply them together. Because I'm kind of wanting a break from chain plying, so I've been doing a lot of it. But yeah, I almost spun all of it, which is pretty good for me. I guess I'm not a slow spinner, it just depends on what I'm spinning. But yeah, look how pretty it is. I'm very excited about it. And yeah, I'll check back with you guys later or tomorrow. But Winnie seems fine. I don't know. She just kept crying if you touched like her neck on the left side yesterday, so I'm not really sure what was going on with that, but she was trying to eat wasps, so I don't know if she got one or what. But yeah, I will check back with you guys later. Probably going to wind this off onto the nitty knotty. I have a question. So everyone's always like, oh, let your bobbins rest, let your bobbins rest. Is that just for your singles, or are you supposed to let the plied yarn rest before you wind it off into a skein? I genuinely don't know, and I never really thought about it until today for some reason. Hello, it is day... Ooh, I had just figured this out. Day 17? Let's see. Yeah, it is day 17 of Tour de Fleece. I did finish the first bat, the first 2 ounces of Arkenstone as a single. And then I got distracted and didn't start the second bat. But here's also my finished Wensleydale. Let's see if we can get some better lighting. Here's my finished Wensleydale skein. It's 208 yards. It is a 3-ply because I chain plied it. And this is Fossil Fibers colorway Escapism. And I love the colors. I'm also really bad at hinking and scanning things. But it's really pretty. I really like it. I love this like bright turquoise color. And then I'll show you what I got distracted by. I had 2 little roll legs that I had made that I kept. Oh shoot, am I gonna pick up my whole wheel to show you guys in better lighting? Yeah. Here it is. You still can't see it very well. That's okay though. Here is this is great camera work, eh? Here is the other roll leg, so you guys can see the color a lot better. There's little bits of green tweed, and there's also like, silk and stuff in here. So these are just roll legs I made. I was making some for one of my friends, Phoenix, crafted by the Fates, and then I decided, since I had the board out, I would just make myself a couple. I don't know the weight. I'll have to weigh the yarn afterwards. I'm just gonna spin this all as a single end to end, and then I will, sorry, I'll stop moving momentarily. And then I will just do a center pole ball and ply it off of that, which I know isn't the best, but I just want to get all of the yarn out of it. So, yeah, and I think that's just a bunch of random stuff I blended together. I don't really remember, besides that there's like Donegal tweed neps and sari silk, and I think I put a little bit of like Firestar or something, one of the sparkly, like kind of like oh, I can't remember what it is, but yeah. So yeah, I'm just gonna finish that spin, and then I will go back to the Arkenstone bats. Hi, it is Friday, July 24th, which is like the 20th day? No, it's gotta be more than that. It's the 21st day of Tour de Fleece 2026, and I didn't spin as much this week as I wanted to. I'll show you guys what I got done. Wow, it's a little too bright, so sorry about that. I got my first Arkenstone 2-ounce bat done. This is fiber from some roll legs that I spun. Oh, I'm gonna really have to move this so that I can show you guys in less blinding light. How's that? Oh yeah, that's better. Okay, so here's the first single from my Arkenstone bat. This is from my roll legs, and this is from my second Arkenstone bat. I think I accidentally, I'm applying these top and bottom two together. I think I accidentally spun them very differently. Not sure. So we'll have to see how applying those together goes. Which I am planning on doing today. Let's see, maybe point it this way. Oh yeah, the light's all right over here. Let's go with this. Okay, so I was trying to like figure out what I could get done, what I still have time for, and to be honest, I'm not sure like how much more I can get done, because I am a slow spinner. I don't think I could get another full 4 ounces done in the next, today, tomorrow, and the next day, because I think Tour de Fleece ends on the 26th. So I have these little batlings. Let me grab them. I came with 5 of them. This is from Melly Knits. Oh man, let me turn this a little more. There we go. Hopefully you'll be able to see now. This is from Melly Knits. Yeah, there you go. And it was 5 of them, and each one is 20 grams. So, you know, this is a little more than 4 ounces. This is 120, no wait. Each is 20 grams. I can't do math. So yeah, all 5 of these together is, here's the other one. I have it like pulled apart. All 5 of these together is gonna be 4 ounces-ish, but I don't really think I want them plied together. I think I wanna make 5 mini skeins, so then it's like, I have more chance of finishing little mini skeins than I do a full spin. So even if I got like 3 done, at least I could finish them, and it would feel like I got a little bit more done during Tour de Fleece. But here is as far as I got spindle spinning it, which is obviously not very far. I have since learned I don't like spindle spinning, so there's that. But this was my first time using a Turkish spindle, I think. But I'm just gonna take this off and start spinning it on my wheel and just see how many of these little 20-gram bundles I can get through in the next 3 days, as well as plying my Arkenstone 2 singles together for a traditional 2-ply, and then the Rolegs that I blended, that I spun, the pink. I will put that in a center pole ball and then ply that on itself as a 2-ply also. And I will keep you guys updated. Today I am getting a dining table I bought from Habitat for Humanity delivered. And I'm probably gonna try to spend some time spinning out on the porch because it's the only nice day this weekend. It's gonna be really crappy weather on Saturday, Sunday, like rainy and like 10 degrees, 15 degrees colder than it has been. So of course it's super nice when I'm at work, so I die outside in the heat, and then the weekend comes and it's not nice.
The deck is looking, I think that it is looking so cute. It was looking good in the spring and honestly the early summer, so I'm glad that I've kind of pulled things together out here. I always look forward to having the cactus and succulent stand set up. I also did bring out a begonia. This is the first time I think I've ever had the rat tail outside, so it'll be nice to see how he enjoys the season out here. I have these guys over here that I just watered, looking very cute. This stand definitely doesn't look as full as it has in prior years, but I'm still really happy with it. I also brought out the 2 new ones as well, so hopefully they will settle right in. And then we have these guys down here. So yeah, I think that is pretty much it. You already saw the monkey tail outside. I have been watering that with the hose. I probably will head out with the watering can within the next couple of days just to give it some liquid fertilizer as well, because I tend to do both. The slow releases there is kind of a nice backup to replant that one next year. But I think Phalaenopsis Adorian has all these flowers open. This is definitely the most flowers that I've had on this one at once, and I'm just obsessed with it, so sorry, but I have to show her off for a moment here. They smell as well. They smell like lemon, very citrusy. It's just such a whimsical plant. Probably thirsty. Yeah, it's almost watering time for her. Actually, I'm due to water. I'm stressed watching it, but they're so good. So yeah, I'm glad that we are like caught up and I'm seeing all 3 of them now. Very, very good. And now I don't know what we're gonna watch next. I'm wanting to watch more classic horror, so probably something like that the next time we sit down to watch a movie. I have a list, actually, of recommendations people have been giving, so I've got a lot of movies I want to watch, but I don't sit down and watch them like that often. So we have those roots and these roots right here, and of course.
All right, I've been spinning for about 45 minutes because I did get up to go finish getting ready to go to therapy. So it's been about 45 minutes, and this is the amount that I have left. I've made a pretty good dent. Here is my bobbin so far. So I think once I come home from therapy, I'm gonna finish this up, and then I'll take this bobbin off, let it rest, and I will do some plying because that was my last clear bobbin for my Kiwi 3. I have this on here. Can you guys even see that? This is leftover from a Fossil Fibers Lord of the Rings collection, BFL and Silk, that I spun, and I spun that and plied it like 2 years ago now at this point, so it's pretty bad on my part. But I'm just gonna move my wheel over here out of the way, and I'm gonna go ahead and take my bobbins out of the sun so that I don't get like any sun bleaching, but yeah, so I'm gonna go to therapy and then I will check back with you guys later. I need to do some plant repotting. I'm trying to decide what to do with my neon pothos because it's getting these big, gorgeous leaves with these little spots. I think they're so cute. Can you guys see that? But the top part, maybe I'll add a picture. The top part is kind of like sun bleached because I used to have it directly in a south facing window. And then look at this sad, sad baby. I'm gonna repot this one also, and then I might use this for some succulents that I'm starting. Yeah. But I think I will do the repotting later in the day because because my table is supposed to get delivered. What time is my table? My table's supposed to get delivered after therapy, so I'll be waiting for the delivery, and then after the delivery I'll go to the grocery store and I'm going to get some more potting mix because I used to use just like Miracle Grow and stuff, and I'm like potting mix, not the fertilizer, and I was told that's bad, and so that plant has been in there for like in that type of mix for like a year and a half, and it gets moldy and weird and gross, and I just want to repot a bunch of my plants. I also want to repot this guy. This is my purple passion, and it was like almost completely dead because Winnie kept hitting it with her toys and breaking it, so I also want to repot that guy. My rabbit's foot fern is doing great though. I need to go. I don't know why I'm talking to you about all this stuff. It's getting a ton of new growth. It used to be so much smaller than this. And it's got a bunch more of those rabbit's feet roots that it's named for. So this guy likes the kitchen window. So he's probably gonna stay here. Yeah. And then I also want to pot my begonia cutting right here that my friend gave me. So yes, I will be back later. All right, so it's been quite a while. I've gone through like my whole day, done a bunch of stuff, grocery shopped, that kind of thing. And I did finish applying this 20 grams of fiber. Let's see if we can show you the colors. This one's got pink and orange in it. And so this 20 grams took me, I like timed, I paid attention to the times when I was spinning and when I wasn't. It took me just under 2 hours. So if each single takes me under 2 hours and I have 4 left, then that's like 8 more hours of spinning. So I think I could definitely get that done over the next 2 days of no work, because it is the weekend. So I also, to clear off some bobbins, I finally got this little tiny bit of BFL and silk from Fossil Fibers off of there. And then I also got my little single from the Rolags that I made, which here, I'll show you the color. It's like pink and teal with green tweed mostly. So I'm going to apply these on themselves, and then I might start working on my Arkenstone 2-ply. So I'm gonna go weigh this. Let's go see how much this is. I also I'm gonna be baking sourdough this weekend, and I got my table from Habitat for Humanity delivered. Okay, so this is 16.5 grams. So that was just 2 Rolags that I blended on my blending board. And I think it was partially a bit of top from, why can't I think of their name? Hello? Wow. I should know this. But anyways, it was partially dyed top that I had left over from blending other Rolex for a friend, and it was also some Sari Silk and some, not Angelina, ignore that, not Angelina, but I think it's called like Firestar or something for the sparkly stuff. But yeah, I'm gonna get to applying. All right, so it is the end of Tour de Fleece, the end of week 3 and the extra day or so that they give you. And this is all my finished yarn. I knew I wasn't gonna get through very much of my big bin, but I did write down some numbers about what I got done, and I will show you all the individual yarns. So the first thing I spun was this bat from Green Goat Ranch, and I just cut off the label on the bag, and it was a flower and garden collection, and the colorway was Hibiscus Lemonade and this is Rambouillet, nylon, faux cashmere, and bamboo, and this is 3 ounces. I did do a chain ply on this to kind of keep the gradient because it goes from like mostly yellow and it fades into mostly lavender. And this is the finished yarn. And yeah, I got 312 yards. I don't know if I just said that or not for this 3 ply. I would say that this is probably gonna knit up as a sport weight. Let's see, can you guys see that? I don't really worry that much about how many wraps per inch I get and everything. If I want to use something, I just swatch with it and try to get gauge. But there's that. It did like bloom and fluff up a good amount. So yeah, I would say this is a heavy fingering or sport. Because I do long draw mostly, and even this I didn't do long draw, but I do let the twist up into the fiber so it does catch air. So yeah, I would say this is a fingering to sport weight. Next up, I tried spinning this Wensleydale top, and this is from Fossil Fibers. The colorway is Escapism, and this is 4 ounces. I split this fiber into 4 vertically, and then I just spun those end to end, and I chain plied the whole thing, so it'll kind of give me a bit of a self-striping. So this is that. This was a big learning curve. This one I would say is a fingering weight yarn. It's still a bit of a, not a fine fingering, it's definitely, I don't know, can you guys see that? I'll show you just one strand. This one was hard because I didn't want to overspin it, and so then when I was plying it did break a lot, especially once I got back towards the beginning of where I was spinning. But I really love these colors, and I'm kind of thinking about trying to make some socks with these. I think they would be interesting. It is such a different feeling fiber than what I'm used to. But yeah, so I got 208 yards of this 3 ply. And then, let's see, what did I spin next? Next I had spun 1/2 of something else, and then I came back and I had these 2 little row legs that I had blended. And this is about like 16 or 17 grams because this was just leftovers that I had out when I had been blending row legs for some Phoenix Crafted by the Fates. And I had more of these like pink and teal colors out after I finished her blend. And this is mystery fiber. I do not remember what's in here other than there's like Donegal tweed and also some Firestar, which is the sparkly bit. And I have 65 yards for this. I would say this is definitely a sport weight. Some of it is thinner and some of it is thicker. So there's that. But I really like how the colors on this turned out. And I really love spinning from roll legs, and I kind of forget that. So I definitely need to take the time to make some more roll legs. And then I spun up this hefty boy, and this is about 4.5 ounces, maybe just under. I think this is about 4.4 ounces. And this was 2 different bats from Fossil Fibers, and it was like Arkenstone bat number 1 and Arkenstone bat number 6. So I just spun each bat separately and then plied them together. And so this one kind of fades from red purple to green to red purple, and again, I think this will make like a really pretty jaunty maybe. I have 468 yards. I would say that most people would probably classify this as a fingering weight. There's a strand. But it is so lofty because it's a woolen prep and a woolen spun. I did very much like your typical long draw with this, that it's gonna bloom really nice. It already bloomed a bunch, and it's gonna bloom even more when it's knit up. So I would say this could definitely be a sport weight. I typically knit my woolen yarns that are about this thickness at a sport to DK gauge, because it is thinner like a fingering weight, but it's just so lofty and lovely. And I don't know what I'll make out of any of these yarns, but next what I decided to work on was Melly Knits. It was 4 little mini batlings from Melly Knits, and it's called A Touch of Chaos, and it's from a sheep named Pixie, and this is a Rommeldale CVM from Lucky Pluck Farm in Vermont, and it has a touch of Sari Silk. So it came with 5 batlings, and I just wanted to be able to like finish like 1 or 2 before the end of Tour de Fleece, but I ended up finishing 3. So each one is 20 grams. And these are the ones I have left. So I've got a blue and orange one and a pink and orange one. And I'm gonna try to get those done soon just so I can have a completed set. But the 3 I've got is like a yellow, like a more red orange, and then a more green, like multicolored one. And I got a little bit different yardage on all of these. The first one I spun, which is the red orange, I got 135 yards. And definitely, I feel like I just call everything a sport weight. I don't know. Either I spin at a sport weight-ish, or I just think everything's a sport weight because it's easier. It's in between. And then the next one I spun was this green multicolored one, and this one is 120 yards. And the last one I spun was this yellow, which you can see I ended up applying tighter, it looks like. I think I spun the singles looser on this, so I couldn't see the twist as well. And this one is 111 yards. I don't know what I'm gonna make with these, but I think it would be really fun to use them all in a project together. So if I have a little over 100 yards on each one, then I'll end up with 550 to 600 yards probably total. But they're so cute. They would look really good in brioche. So that is everything I spun. I did some math after the fact, and it's not going to be accurate what I spun for my singles because I didn't measure them as singles. I just did the math after my completed yarn yardage. So obviously when you get the twist and everything from plying, it's not going to be exact, but it's the best I'm going to do. So I spun a total of just over 14 ounces. And I got a total of 1,419 yards finished yarn. And so if I do math and like the 3 plies multiply it by 3, and the 2 plies multiplied by 2, it's still going to be a little bit under what I actually did, but I mathed it out to 3,358 yards of singles. So 3,360 yards of singles-ish. And that is really good for me because, as I said so many times, I'm pretty sure, I am a super slow spinner by my standards, but from just what I see other people doing. Other people, they'll spin like, you know, 4 ounces in a day. That's crazy. I'm a slow spinner, and I also am not a super practiced spinner because I started spinning 3 years ago, and I never kept up with it. It's just not something that I kept sticking with. Like, I was moving, I was doing other things, and I just didn't stick with it. And so, like, for the past 2 years, I haven't spun at all. So yeah, it was really good to get back into it. And I'm really hoping to continue and keep spinning more than I had been, which was none. So I had a great time vlogging, and yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you're ready for some sewing content because that's what I'm feeling next. Bye.